Hey, this is Skype Driving Bonsai here, taking photos with this focal 28mm auto MC f2.8. I've done a video with this lens before, but in this case, I'm going to be using this 2x teleconverter with it. Beautiful day today. I thought it was going to be a little bit colder, but it's turning out really nice. Right now I'm doing f4 something, 4.5 maybe, with ISO 200, 1/100th of a second. Yeah, that might be too slow of a shutter speed. Nice area. A lot of my photos will be focused in the same area, so I don't have to move around the zoom in point. I have noticed that using these full manual lenses, especially when I have to zoom in, which is a lot of the time actually, now that I've started using that, I take a lot fewer photos, which could be good or bad, but when I take the photo, I know it's focused exactly where I want it because of the zoom in feature. So far, I'm liking the focal length combination of that 28 plus the 2x. It's dark enough today, I'm using f2.8 a lot, which might not be the best thing, especially these older lenses. The weight isn't too bad on this combination, but it is definitely a little front heavy. One thing about the EFM cameras, their grips are really not bad for how small they are, but they are pretty small and short. Let's see how close I can get. Oh wow, that's super nice. The teleconverter definitely helps with getting pretty close. That looks interesting. Another defocused photo. It just looks super ominous, mysterious looking, at least in the viewfinder. I think the challenge will be, come winter time, trying to make the videos interesting enough, at least the nature ones. Maybe I'll try some city stuff again. Clearly your negative here is the lost light from that teleconverter. It's quite a bit, even at 2.8. I'm in the crop. You know, it's going into ISO range a decent amount. So if you feel stressed out, go do some photography out in nature, especially now when there are less bugs and insects and things to deal with that would make it a little less unpleasant for you. Even sometimes with the zoom in feature, it's hard to tell if I'm focused properly. Got the Illuminati here today. Little hints of light. It's interesting how my photography style shifts a little bit based on what I'm doing. So when I do these photography videos, I'm more focused on landscape oriented photos. But when I do the cosplay photography, more verticals. Just maybe it's based on the subject or situation, because with the videos, if I want to fill the entire frame with a photo, it has to be a horizontal or maybe 2 verticals. It's always a fun look. I'm curious, what catches your eye when you're out there taking photos? Is it specific textures, looks? I mean, if you do mostly people photos, what angle, what position really gets you motivated to take that picture? Curious about that. One thing I also do with subjects like this where I can get a lot of background color is try to find a nice foreground object and then use the colors in the background by positioning myself to not just have one uniform background color. Another mask, and it's a hat. Moss is always a good subject. Definitely getting a lot of light variation today. Just exploded with light. The EFM viewfinders, all the cameras, M5, M50 basically, it's small, which physically small, and it's not great for doing this manual focus stuff. Maybe it's the glasses, maybe whatever else, but it is a physically small viewfinder. That's why I wouldn't personally consider that new Sony A7C camera, because the viewfinder is so small. I could use that for the video stuff for sure, but the photo stuff, I don't know. Especially considering the price on it is not cheap for that viewfinder. I mean, it's good that they put it in at all, so it's really a situation of we fit this in barely. I don't know if that's a good compromise for photographers. Definitely a camera that I think would be better for simple video stuff. And it can't even do the high-end video like 10-bit and the more advanced stuff. But overall, it's interesting looking. I don't know if I could go back to large cameras after these small ones. Got some berries. We've got slugs. Taking photos of horse crap and slugs with a YouTube channel, right? That's it for this video with the 28mm f2.8 focal MC auto and a 2x teleconverter. Curious to see how it turns out. You've already seen the photos, but I have yet to. Nice combination, solid build quality on this lens, and the teleconverter is actually a really nice build as well. A lot of metals and things with old film era glass, which is great because they last long. You can see that this combination, I mean, maybe it wasn't used a lot, or maybe it was refurbished by KH or something, but maybe not. Of course, film era stuff, lower cost, and there are some drawbacks with focusing, but besides that, fun to use. Anyways, Scott Photography Bonds, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot. Likes, shares, and now that applause feature helps out a lot as well. Thanks again.